I have 2 highlight tapes on the backside. Okay, so let's start this again. 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. We are breaking down Lotzeir Brooks highlight tape. He committed on Saturday. He's a speedster. He's an elite speed type talent. And I think when you're recruiting wide receivers, you want players who have this type of speed. I think within Coach Kalen DeBoer's system, he scored 22 touchdowns this last season as a junior. This guy has the DNA makeup to be an elite game breaker. I think when you look to Alabama's future of wide receivers, these are the type of wide receivers that you are going to see come in and be exceptional. Now, when you look at Lotzeir Brooks, who had 22 touchdowns, which I believe was a record in New Jersey within his classification, the guy's all over. He has elite hands, but what sets him apart is his overall acceleration. I'm telling you, his acceleration is top end. So we love that speed that Ryan Williams has, right? A guy like that. But a guy like this, you have him come in at a slot position. I think you could put him a couple different players because he might be that Tyreek Hill type fat. I'm telling you, like just wait. You're going to watch. This was on, I love this play right here, the screen, but you get to see his overall acceleration, right? Just stay with me. Look at this right there. And I get it. I don't know how good this high school football talent is, but what I know from his overall acceleration, it's incredible. So with him coming in and committing on Saturday, this was a gigantic pickup for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And right now where Alabama is sitting is number 6 overall in the recruiting rankings when you look to On3, which is fine. You look to the fact that Coach Kalen DeBoer was able to add some really good prospects during the month of March. He added 6, and he adds 2 so far, right? The first is Lotzeir Brooks, this wide receiver who you're looking at, and the second is Jaden Harmon. We're going to showcase his highlights in just a second. He's a linebacker. I want to get your take and type. Let's type for Lotzeir Brooks. Let's type B if you're impressed with what you have seen from Lotzeir Brooks. So go ahead inside the comment box and type B if you are impressed. B if you're impressed with Lotzeir Brooks, these highlights that you're seeing right now on the screen. And it's crazy because he's only a 3-star, right? Only a 3-star. Shane is already saying B. Look at this acceleration. Pretty good quarterback too. Yeah, everybody's lighting it up with B. Lotzeir Brooks, name to know. And look him up. No matter if you're on Rivals, if you're on 24/7, On3, whatever, like look up his overall makeup. I mean, this guy. And what's been impressive about Coach Kalen DeBoer is he's been able to add prospects from all over the country, right? Going out to Los Angeles, going up to New Jersey. I get it. The world is smaller because of, private planes or whatever. But I think it speaks volumes to what Coach Kalen DeBoer has been able to do early on. My goodness, man. He's fast. Lightning. I mean, the dude is lightning. Okay, so now let's look at the next prospect. The next prospect that we're going to look at, Jaden Harmon, who is a 4-star linebacker out of Rome, Georgia. Okay, Rome, Georgia has put out some absolute ballers. You are going to absolutely love this prospect's highlight tape. Let's start right now. So when you look to Harmon, this guy is a playmaker. He has a really good nose for the ball. He gets off the football well. He can attack the quarterback. He has some bone-jarring hits, but he's overall a playmaker too. So with getting Harmon, who's a 4-star on all of your recruiting services, just watch his speed. Closing speed. Watch this. Boom. He can come with the big booming hit. And I love him on the outside. He's got really good size. I believe he's almost 6'3". Look at that. Did you see that speed, that acceleration? He's able to get to the quarterback, and then he's able to get to the outside on that screen for a big hit. Here he comes off the edge. He's a menace. And this is he fits in nicely to this swarm type defense. I think when you look to the future Alabama, I think that Quay Russo is going to be an absolute baller, right? Because he has that speed. But you're going to need somebody else to kind of replenish. And I think looking down the road, Harmon is really good. Look at this guy. I mean, look, Lotzeir Brooks, a 3-star. This guy's a 4-star. I don't know. This guy is a monster. He's everywhere. And the talent right here that you have in Rome, Georgia is elite. Look at this closing speed right here. Boom. Man, he's a really, really good open field tackler. And you're right, Greg, inside the comment box. He does have the ability to disrupt overall play. He is a freak. Seriously, this guy, this might be, okay, I know we're talking about these guys right now. But I think I really like fast wide receivers. I really do. Like, Darius, you're going to get in trouble, man. But when you look to the two players that I like so far in this class of 2025, Lotzeir Brooks is one, but Harmon might be one of my favorites on the defensive side. He's going to fit in really nice to this swarm defense, okay? So let me ask you this, okay? If you like what you see from Jaden Harmon, type in H. His last name's Harmon. Type in H if you are impressed with what you've seen from Jaden Harmon. Man, look, he's loading up. And I get it. Alabama's right now, they haven't landed like that 5-star that you're looking for, but what they're doing is they're getting guys that fit their system, whether they're 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever the case. Love it. This guy is a wrecking ball. Man, Austin with the 3 H's. Yeah, really like what I see right here. So good overall prospects for Coach Kalen DeBoer so far. And when you look to the Alabama commitment list, let's go over that real quick. Let's see if I can get that pulled up real fast. Let's see. All right. When you look to Alabama's 2025 list of commitments, and I use On3, I like the overall look of On3, how it kind of looks. You see that you have Daryl Johnson coming in. Let's see if I can get this a little bit flexed up. There you go. Can you guys see that okay? All right. You have Daryl Johnson, who's a 5-star. You have Derek Smith, who's a 4-star out of Selma, Alabama. You have Anthony Turbo Rogers out of Montgomery. Antonio Coleman, who flipped from Auburn back to Alabama. Jaden Harmon, who committed yesterday. He's a 4-star. Abdul Sanders out of Los Angeles, what I was talking about, right? You go from New Jersey to Los Angeles. You have Zamir Smith out of Maryland as well. He's an athlete. You have Miles Johnson out of Alabama, Luke Metz, and Lotzeir Brooks down there from New Jersey. Those are your class of 2025 prospects. So I want to hear from you right now inside the comment box. Have you been overall impressed? And we'll move through my next segments as well. Have you been impressed with what Coach Kalen DeBoer has done recruiting-wise? I know we just got off of A-Day and did his transfer portal, but while we're talking about it, have you been impressed with what you've seen from Coach Kalen DeBoer in terms of recruiting? Want to hear from you inside the comment box, because I think that a lot of people were asking, could he recruit at this level? What was he going to do in the Southeast? And I think he's proven early on that he can recruit. So excited to get your take inside the comment box about that. Let me line this up and let's talk some A-Day standouts. Okay. Let's talk A-Day standouts. And I want to hear from you inside the chat box. Who was a standout for you? It doesn't have to be anyone on the offense, the defense. Just like when I talk A-Day standout, who just like mention a name. It doesn't have to even be like just mention one, mention two. Jeremy Bernard is a really good ad. Comes in from Washington, and you have a loaded wide receiver room, right? Kobe Prentice, you have Kendrick Law. But I think one of the wide receivers who really needed to showcase that they can play at this level and develop a good cohesiveness with Jeremy Bernard. And we saw him do that, recording 122 yards in that game, right? Did a really good job on that one bucket catch from Milroe and then on the deep throw from Milroe. Everybody inside the chat is mentioning Jam Miller. Man, I am so happy for him, and I'm really happy for Richard Young. I'll talk about Richard Young in just a second. We talked about that recently. But when you look to Jam Miller, we talk about Justice Haynes, and rightfully so, all the time. And that's why I asked you, type R if you feel the running back room is elite. Jam Miller, last year, he was overshadowed because you had Roydale Williams and you had Jace, who are the upperclassmen. This year, you have Justice Haynes, who everybody wants to see get on the field. But last year, Jam Miller did his thing. When his name was called, he did his thing. He played at a high level last year. Okay? Everybody's saying R because they feel that the running back room is elite. And it starts with Jan Miller. He was able to put together a really nice scrimmage. 83 yards, right? Longest of what, 47? The guy is, and it's crazy because he's still probably overshadowed, which is kind of weird because he might be like the absolute guy here. Who knows? Maybe he's the next 1,000-yard running back. I think Justice Haynes is a little bit banged up. I don't think it's serious. I think he maybe just took a big hit. Someone saw him with ice on his shoulder. Whatever the case is, we know what to expect from Justice Haynes. One player who played starving was Richard Young. Man, Richard Young was a player that had to perform at a high level, and I think wanted to showcase his abilities, because I think when you look to Richard Young from last year, he didn't get his opportunities that he wanted. It was probably frustrating, and it's probably hard for these guys because you come in and you talk so much about Justice Haynes or all the other running backs. Richard Young, look, it was amazing to me that he only had 25 yards rushing, because 24 of those yards were probably after first contact. He did not go down when somebody hit him. Did not, 100%. It was always after like the third point of contact. You know what? I saw him run right through Jeremiah Alexander, who had a pretty good game. But Richard Young did his thing. And I think that overall room, I think that's the best unit on this team right now. Jan Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young. And I think, Daniel Hill, he was good in short yardage situations as well. Okay, so 8A standouts. Yeah, I guess we're just, talking about those running backs. You know what? I put up a short. I didn't notice this, but did you see that Justin Okoronkwo, who's a freshman, that he had 11 tackles in this game? Right, and we're talking with Ty Hayes, mentioning that, Coach Saban said if he would have played all his life, what if he played in Georgia or he plays in Texas, right? He's from Germany. Guy would have been a 5-star. 11 tackles, pretty impressive. Other standouts to me, I think, on the defensive side of the ball. Look, I did see Malachi Moore all around. I saw him with some big hits. I saw Bray Hubbard with a big hit. How about Cole Adams, the wide receiver position? Man, talk about being underrated. That guy's good. Really good. Sweet Home is mentioning Justice Jefferson, which was interesting, and a lot of people were probably asking, where was Jahad Campbell? Well, Campbell was out with a minor injury. Coach Kalen DeBoer said he's going to be fine moving forward. See, Marqueta said the same thing. Cole Adams, very underrated, 100%. Tobias, who's up in Germany, right? He's up in Cologne. Love seeing Okoronkwo. Man, that was amazing. Matthew, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box. Miro, Ty Simpson, both look really good. Jay Kirkpatrick, man, that interception. So when I did my rewatch, and I'm sure you guys did too, that interception by Drake Kirkpatrick was so impressive from an athletic standpoint. And guess what? Let me ask you. Here's some trivia, undefeated. Okay? Here's some trivia. What was his ranking, his star ranking? Drake Kirkpatrick. This is too easy. Everything is asking Robbie Oots injured. No. He was good. Saw him make a catch. Robbie Oots has hands, right? For being 260 and a tight end, he has hands. But see, everybody knows undefeated. He was Shane B. Jordan Campbell saying he was a 3-star. Did that look like a 3-star interception to me? You know what? He had 2 interceptions in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. You know, it was cool when Drake Kirkpatrick went up and snagged that interception. They focused on Pops. Did you feel a little bit old? Seeing his dad on the sidelines and seeing Drake Kirkpatrick just scoop one out. Man, that was an athletic grab. Oh, man. He's good. Drake Kirkpatrick's good. I don't know if he's going to, how much playing time he'll get this year, because I think, this is what I think, talking about the portal now. Patriot Life in with the 20 spot. Man, Patriot Life been building this fan fundamental. Look at it. His avatar is now the undefeated. You can't get much more undefeated than that. I appreciate you, Patriot Life, and you and Auntie Janet, man. You guys are leading the way with the undefeated. Caitlin, we miss you. Where's Caitlin been? Okay, let's talk transfer portal. Okay. What we are watching today is any movements within the transfer portal. What's up, Jared? I see you inside the comment box. We are watching how many players enter the transfer portal. If they do, we will bring that news to you right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Sorry, I almost have to sneeze, so I don't want to like sneeze on camera. My goodness, my allergies are still... I've been taking a Claritin in the evening time, but, you know, I'm fighting through it. This isn't my flu game, but, you know, allergies still kicking up. But we are watching any prospect that hits the transfer portal, and we will bring that to you. And we'll also watch on transfer portal targets, which players hit the portal that makes sense that might come to Alabama. Matthew, I'll get to you in just a second. I think I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this. Matthew was saying that he wasn't impressed with the defense. Sweet Home's like, just let it rip. So if a player enters the transfer portal, be notified by hitting the subscription, because we will bring a video to you if a player does hit the transfer portal. Yesterday, you know, Tony Mitchell was rumored to hit the portal or expected to. We had a video on that. I put the video as private because then Tony Mitchell came and said that he wasn't. So a lot of moving parts. So we'll vet that out the best that we can. Waiting for Caden Proctor to announce. Caden Proctor was at A-Day. I heard, somebody told me that Caden Proctor was already living here in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard. He was here at A-Day. There's a picture of him. You should see how big T's up in here.
Good morning, everyone.
What's up, T? T, everyone missed you at A-Day.
Super chats today too. Wow.
Hell yeah, Auntie Janet came through. The huge dunk.
That's amazing.
T, everyone was asking about you for A-Day.
I know. I'm so sad I couldn't go. I really wanted to meet all you guys, but it was a crazy turnout, right?
Yes. Oh, look. You want to see how crazy it was?
Yeah.
Look at this. And this wasn't even like, I mean, we're probably missing like 25 to 30 people. Look at this. The undefeated rolled through, right?
I love it.
James Dickerson is on the right in the black. And if we ever put together a football team, he's playing guard. For sure. Right? Like if I have to play quarterback, I want Dickerson at guard.
Yeah.
You know, everyone. So Smook is like 6'3".
Yeah. What would he play? What did he play?
Well, he plays secondary, but I probably but Smook's a good athlete, so I play him at wide. He'd be a two-way player. I'd be playing both ways as well. There's Coach Sean. So everyone was mentioned. Coach Sean is on the bottom left, and there's his daughter. So Coach Sean, not the tallest guy in the world, but he's a unit, right? Like Coach Sean, because he was a running back, so he would 100% be the running back on the team, right? You have Cindy right here, undefeated. The undefeated captain. Patriot Life is there in the back with the undefeated hat. There's Rev with the glasses. Ephraim, you've seen him inside the comment box. He's with the green hoodie, right? Undefeated family was rolling through, and it was really good to see. They came with it 100%. So we are tracking the portal today. Let me ask you, undefeated, type P for portal, inside chat if you're a little bit nervous about the portal. Would you type P? T?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I'm not. I'm for some reason I'm not that nervous.
So type N if you're not nervous.
Yes. N for not nervous. You're feeling
P. See, there's a lot. There's some P's up in here.
Yeah, I see a few.
Yeah. And while you guys answer that, Matthew asked a good question. Okay, because I went to a baptism brunch on Sunday, and of course, the dialogue besides, the little girl who was being baptized, it was also brought up about Alabama football. And I started talking to a gentleman about the defense, and he was like, look, he was like a straight shooter. And he was like, you know what I think? And I was like, tell me. And he was like, I think the offense is going to be, you can't stop the offense. And he's like, I think the defense is going to just be mediocre. And he's like, and you know what?
The total opposite of what we have been, right?
Kind of. And he was like, and you know what? He's like, I don't give a damn. He was like, as long as we win, he was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He was like, because what I think is going to happen, and this was, I had just met this guy, but everybody talks Alabama football that, lives here. So he was like, look, I think that Coach Kalen DeBoer is just going to have this ultra elite offense that's scoring 56 points or whatever. And he's like, I'm not too worried about the defense. I don't know if it's going to be that. It's hard to see because this type of format for the scrimmage is just set up for the offense. I mean, did you guys like the format? Type yes if you like the format. Type N if you didn't for no. Did you like the format?
I prefer the old one.
Huh.
You mean of A-Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, you and Smook should really come to Birmingham and go to the Stallions game Saturday. It was fun. So my son, Caden, has been asking me to take him to a Stallions game because, as you know, Caden's a 49er fan, but he loves the Stallions. He loves it. Caden's one of those dudes, like Caden is so like New Mexico. Like he represents, right? He loves the Niners, he loves New Mexico, but he loves the Stallions too. I don't know, for the format for me, I don't know if it really like bothered me or not.
I'm kind of with Charles. Like he's saying it grew on him. Like I was very against it at first, but then yeah. But I still think I prefer the old way.
Okay, let me ask you this. All right, undefeated. I feel like the energy out there on Saturday. Do you guys agree with this? It was like a day of like kind of closure and excitement. And what I mean by that is that we never had time to get together after Coach Saban and just be like, hey, share some stories, whatever, if people were sad or happy, and then get together and celebrate Coach Kalen DeBoer and everything that is new. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was like a day of camaraderie. And I think fans needed that more than like whatever the scrimmage details were, whatever. Cynthia, right? You felt that 100%. Oh, so defense. This is important. So check this out. And I heard this on the rewatch because the field was trash. Bryant-Denny Stadium. My grass. I haven't even turned on my sprinklers, and my grass looks better than that field. Okay, the field was in bad shape. It was rough. But think about this. Alabama is switching over, like they're prepping their turf. Check this out, T. They're prepping their turf to be green and in better shape longer because they're anticipating hosting a playoff game this year.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they have to go longer with their turf as opposed to previous seasons because you're going to host a playoff game. That's what they said on the announcement because the field was terrible. Yeah. You should have seen it. But now it makes sense to me because the way that they're treating it, they have to have it kind of prolonged.
Stretch it out.
Yeah. It makes sense to me. I was like, oh, man. And Alabama, like they have like these think tanks of people and the groundskeepers. Yeah. What playoff game will we host our own? Well, the way that it's set up is that, if you look to the playoff formats, you will host a playoff game, the upper teams, right? So, I don't think it's, out of the question that Alabama has a great season and then hosts a game in the playoffs, which would be crazy, which would be great for the city of Tuscaloosa and us to cover an extra game here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Now, I know we're speaking way to the, who knows, you got to get there, but still, I think that's amazing to think about. Paul Young saying they're going to be installing, will be installing new turf, and that might have to do something with it as well. I don't know, but that's what they were saying. Byron is saying only 2 players in the portal so far today. Is that from, let me see. Is that just like overall?
I think that's what he means. I didn't see any.
Man, if you want the portal to heat up, get me on an airplane or something like that.
Stop.
That's when news really pops. Remember last year when I was flying to Tampa and Tyler Buckner was named the starter? Man, that was crazy. Well, something else happened too when we were flying home.
Yeah, from LA.
What was it?
Oh.
And I was doing a video from like Delta Comfort.
Yeah, what was it?
I don't know. And everyone was like, oh, you're fine.
It was a transfer.
Yeah, it was something crazy. I don't know what it was. Who knows? It was. Remember all the transfers that hit when we were in Manhattan Beach, and it was like 80-mile-an-hour winds. Oh.
It was literally like gale force winds.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this overall. Now that we've had a good amount of time to kind of like accept and kind of get an overview of Coach Kalen DeBoer, type K if you are happy with Coach Kalen DeBoer so far. I would type K.
Yeah, me too.
I think that he's I think that he is genuine. I think that he's put a good recruiting plan in place. I think that he's done a real, you know what? Alabama and Coach Kalen DeBoer, they've done a really good job with the changing of the guards. Now I understand that Coach Kalen DeBoer, doesn't want to do a lot of things that Saban did just because it is Saban. But I feel that Saban hasn't really pressed on, still trying to be the guy. I think he's accepted his retirement, right, T?
Yeah.
He's walked away gracefully. Mm-hmm. He came back and he's like, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He was at the Masters. I love the interview. He was down on field level and they asked him, what do you think about this? And he's like, it's a spring game and Alabama's going to have to go into the transfer portal. He spoke about Alabama, as a fan, but then when he was on ESPN, he was speaking, just looking at them as a team.
Yeah, objectively.
100%. So I think they've had a really good changing of the guards in that aspect. Jawan, man, he's 113 likes. Yeah, appreciate you guys hitting the support. Appreciate it. Are they anticipating first or second round? Jim Parker, what is that referring to? You know what? This is Lawrence. What's up, man? Appreciate it, man. Congrats on the PhD. Holy cow. I was most concerned about the place kicker and center position this weekend. Okay. This is interesting. We didn't see a punt in this game, which is interesting. Good thing that Alabama has James Burnap coming back. He's one of the best punchers, if not the best puncher in college football coming back. I think there might be, okay, let me ask you this. Are you concerned? Is it too early? I don't know. Are you concerned about the kicker position?
Lawrence, were you concerned with the center because of last year?
Well, there was some low snaps.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, type Y if you are concerned about the kicking position. Y if you are concerned about the kicker. I'm concerned, to be honest.
Yeah, because I didn't get to see, the whole game, so I guess I missed the low snaps.
I think that, you know what? This is scary, but people are like, tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth, and I don't know if you guys are going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. I think, unfortunately, that the kicking game, and I'm just talking place kickers right now, like field goals, points after, touchdowns. I think that might be the weakest unit of this team right now. There's no experience. They're trying to replace Will Reichard. You know what was weird? This could be Jeremy's one kick overreaction. Maybe so. So Reed Schuback was 1 for 1 with 27 yards. You know what? The format was weird how they went out and they kicked with no defense. It was just the kickers just ran out with the offense and they kicked. Upton Bellafant was 1 for 1, 23 yards. And Connor Talty was 0 for 1, missing from 45. So, I don't know. Maybe, are we making too big? Is this overreaction Monday? I don't know. For the kicking, I think that's could you go into the transfer portal for a kicker?
Yeah, I mean, and we're so used to perfect. you know what I mean with our kicking from.
And I'm not saying, I mean, Connor Talty is going to be fine, right? But and you're right, Jeremy's like 45 isn't a chip shot. That's true.
That's true.
But there was also no defense rushing at you. Just like went out there and kicked it. I don't know. Do you go to transfer portal for a kicker? Yeah. Is that crazy?
Charles is like absolutely no pressure and still.
One of the guys' extra point jumped off his foot hot. Not sure. T, tell him about what happened to you last year before the game with was it field goals?
Yeah. So my seats in the stadium are right behind the field goal. So during halftime, like they come out and they kick a bunch of practice kicks, and I was also filming all the players running back into the tunnel to send to Kyle. So I wasn't looking, but one of them came like centimeters away from my face. But thankfully, I just reacted and I put my hand up. But those things come in freaking hot. Like, it hurts. Those.
Yeah, you had the reaction. My mom actually caught a ball too.
Yeah, she wouldn't give it back till she took it.
And like the UA, my mom, like she's a lion. She came, so they went and they were like, "Hey, you have to give us the football back." And what'd she say?
She was like, 1 second.
She was like, 1 second.
Hold on.
And she took a photo of it and she sent it to me and Caden.
Yeah.
Crazy.
She was like, they're not going to believe it.
Yeah, Caleb, I guess no calls today, but I'll get you guys another time. This segment, I was just kind of rolling with it, and this is a Monday, so I'll get you guys back on the calls. So I appreciate you guys. Be patient with that. I have Ty rolling through, and then I have Coach Smook. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these, and then I'll re-upload this so you can go back and watch just my segment as well. A lot of people have asked that. You know what? A lot of people have asked me too. And I want to get your feedback, okay? So I need one more answer. Some people were like, you should put your segment or the specific segments, not only like recut them on YouTube, because all we do is YouTube, but they said put it as a podcast. Because I know that some people are only YouTube and some people do podcasts. There's so many podcasts out there. I don't know. What are your thoughts, T?
I don't know. I mean, we could try it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Jay's like, Kyle, you are the MX GOAT. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. It's been amazing to see kind of the growth of the Undefeated family, to have people come in and, really rise up to support this YouTube channel has been really good. And I think that we continue to, we continue to roll with it and continue to just, grow the channel. So how things are going to work. So April should pretty much be the same. We'll have our morning shows and the evening shows. May is going to be different because it's a different time of year from football. There still will be coverage, of course. You have the NFL draft, which we'll cover as well. June and July, those are months where, you kind of turn more towards recruiting. July will be SEC Media Days, and then in August, we'll ramp things up. And you kind of get a taste of, it's amazing to see what we've built here on YouTube in not even the football season.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think like the channel, has 100 and almost 6,000 subscribers, right? But we've morphed into something different from January to now. 100%. So this is kind of like the, first quarter, whatever of what we are. Can you imagine where we are during the season? Can you imagine how things are going into the season when we have games to talk about? When we have more impactful things to talk about. So that's kind of where we're at. But I appreciate you guys watching the product, and drop us a like at the bottom, and let us know, R if you think they're elite, P if you're nervous about the portal, and K if you're happy with Coach Kalen DeBoer.